this traffic jam, dreaming of the green pastures I once ran. The road ahead's
Hello again, I'm Miles L. DeMott, author and poet at large, and I'm here with Earl B. Hunter Jr., and together we are stuck in traffic.
Right on.
So thank you for joining us for another episode. It's likely to be a good one. If it's not, you'll need to call Wonder Boy because he's the prime purpose here. Anyway, we're here with Earl Hunter, and tell us, welcome first of all. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you so much. This is a very cozy atmosphere and
It is that.
incredible place, and you seem to be a very delightful host. I mean,
Cut. We're good. This
Right
is
on.
good. We're going to be friends. So anyway, thank you for that.
Right on.
So you live in Brevard.
I do.
You have a business here.
Mhm.
You, I've done a little bit of research, mostly post office stuff, a
Right
little
on.
bit of FBI background.
Right.
It's pretty interesting stuff.
good.
But you grew up in Georgia, or at least went to college in Georgia in
Right.
Milledgeville at the military academy.
Well, I actually grew up in Columbia, South Carolina. But I graduated. I had my first degree from college in Milledgeville, Georgia, at one of the most prestigious military colleges in the world.
/ prisons, because
Which
it was
is
a prison.
Georgia Military College. I always tell folks sometimes it was like a prison with no gates, because it was tough.
And that was back when they still had the mental institution there as well.
It was, and
So this was always one big campus.
it was a booming town.
Yeah.
It was a booming area. You had the mental institution, you had the prisons in that particular space, but you also had this prestigious military college right in the middle of it. And what we were good at is what we were bad at is our grades, right? We didn't have people who went there, particularly to the junior college. Our grades were not as good, but our football talents were incredible.
Yes.
Incredible. So that's how we all ended there.
Did you play football?
I did, man. I did. I played linebacker and strong safety. My job was crack heads, man. That's all I like to do.
You seem like the type who could succeed in that.
That's all I like to do. I like see ball, hit ball.
See ball, hit ball.
That's it.
Can I quote you on that?
Absolutely.
So after college, after grad school and all that, where did you settle down first of all?
Well, so first of all, after going to Georgia Military College, I ended up also playing football at Appalachian State, the Mountaineers. I played there for 2 years, had a wonderful career. I still go back to Appalachian State to Boone a lot. As a matter of fact, I for almost 12 years, I ran the team out on the field at least one time a year, and I was 12-0.
Really?
12-0 before we ended up getting beat last year by Coastal Carolina. And so I wanted to get that out there before I told you exactly where I'm from. So being from Columbia, South Carolina, I moved around. I've been in corporate America for quite some time.
Right.
I've been an executive for almost 22 years now. And my journey started from Columbia to Rock Hill, South Carolina, Rock Hill to Atlanta to Arkansas, and Arkansas to here to Brevard, North Carolina.
So you've been in the outdoor industry most of that time.
I have not. I just got into the outdoor industry in 2014. I knew nothing about the outdoor industry.
Where were you
Absolutely
before? What did you
I was in
work
the international sourcing industry before then.
Okay.
Right? I was in that industry where we did a lot of business in Vietnam, China, and Mexico. And so all the things you hear about tariffs and things of that nature, I know quite a bit about what is happening and why it's happening and how things are being handled.
So when you first came to Brevard in 2014, that was to work with Sylvan Sport?
It was.
So walk me through this. When you are driving into Brevard, you'd been to Rock Hill, you'd been to other small towns in the mountains, obviously, and been to Boone. So it's got to be a similar feel. But you're attracted to the job.
Right. Well, I was attracted to the job, but I also didn't come here for a job, though. When I first started coming to Brevard, I came here because at the time, Sylvan Sport was a company that was building campers and RVs and things of that nature. I came because I came under the pretenses of helping them lower their costs with the parts they were purchasing for their RVs, because that's the company that I work for.
Yeah.
Did not know I would actually work for them. Did not know that I would become the vice president of sales for them. Didn't know any of that.
You were sourcing stuff for them.
I was sourcing stuff for them, right? And when I had started having conversations with the owner and we started talking about the product, I looked at the product. I thought the product was incredible. I decided that, and we decided that it would be a good fit for me to come and actually drive and sell the product. And I was ecstatic because it was a new challenge, and a challenge it was, trust me, in regards to how to drive the business.
So would you describe Brevard as business friendly?
Well, at the time, I didn't really describe Brevard as anything other than beautiful. It was a beautiful place. It was green. It was luscious. It was didn't have a lot of diversity at the time. But I can remember coming here the first time in 2014, per se, and walking downtown. The downtown was lively, although it was in sort of like in January, I believe. We went to a cool restaurant, and I was really surprised that the restaurant actually was there. It was a really cool place, and the food was incredible. And so I can see myself, visiting, but I never thought about myself living here. But now that I am, I think it's incredible.
So was the lack of diversity an immediate note? You picked up on that right away?
It was. I did pick up on it, but it wasn't a problem though, because remember now I moved from Arkansas, right? And Arkansas didn't have a lot of diversity in the places where we were as a family. But I'm used to being in spaces where I'm pretty much the only black person in regards to business.
Okay, so and your business is Black Folks Camp 2.
Our business is Black Folks Camp 2.
So as a comedic aside, when you first moved here, did you think maybe your first business should be Black Folks Live in Brevard 2?
Well, no. The reason why our company, Black Folks Camp 2, it derived off of the fact that I was actually the one of the only black executives in the RV industry, which is a $114 billion industry.
Wow.
And so after doing my work and doing my job at Sylvan Sport, and my job was to actually grow the business and drive the business, which is my forte. Coming in businesses, understanding the businesses, understanding the numbers, and driving the business. And so after doing that at Sylvan Sport, I just realized that the outdoor industry is going to have a problem. And I
think I remember reading somewhere in your bio that you and your son were on a camping trip when you were working at Sylvan Sport, driving the campers around and all that sort of stuff. And you noticed there's a relative dearth, let's say, of black campers. Right.
So it was a funny story. My son is at the time 7 years old. My son also at 7 years old, he probably thought like a 21-year-old. And I've been telling him for quite some time, and I was going to take him on this amazing trip around the country to go see Mount Rushmore. And mind you, at this time, though, I had actually visited Mount Rushmore. I had driven around Mount Rushmore probably 3 or 4 times, right? But I had never gone because I wanted to go with my son. In January 2017, he kind of called me out. He said, "Dad, listen, you told me you're going to take me to see Mount Rushmore, and you haven't done it yet. Talk that talk or walk that walk."
There you go.
So I ended up taking him the summer of 2017 while working at Sylvan Sport. We drove around the country, and we went to close to 20 states, and we 40, 50 campgrounds. We were gone for almost 3 months. And we only saw one black family. And that family, we didn't see that black family until we got to Albuquerque, New Mexico. And once we got there and saw them, it was
off-putting.
My son was kind of like, "Dad, there's some black people out there. Look at them." I was like, "Whoa, there they are," right?
So that's where the Black Folks Camp 2 sort of grew out of that sensation?
Well, it did grow out of that sensation, other than the fact that, the lack of black folks or diversity in the outdoors, I had already seen that already, because I had already seen the fact that I was one of the only black executives in the RV space, but I also saw it because I was in the camper industry and I was going to all the RV shows, all the camper shows, all the outside shows. And during those times, I really was questioned by the dealerships, the RV dealerships, of asking me, why aren't there many black folks in this particular space? And I would throw it back to them. You all marketed the show. Why aren't they any here? Right. And so it was I never felt I always felt calm and collected in that particular space. But when I knew it was time for me to make a change to start Black Folks Camp 2, it started with my son and I traveling around the country. But it really was when I was at a RV trade show. And I remember the speaker there was the pilot from who had flown the airplane in the Hudson, Sully. And I remember him coming and speaking at this event. And I remember him talking about the diversity on his plane and how many folks were on the plane, and how he said that it didn't matter who was on the plane, their race, their age, their gender, their ability. He just needed to land that plane, right? Yeah. And I remember standing up and looking around the room and looking around the space and seeing that, man, I'm the only one in here. I'm the only executive of color in the space. And I knew then that the outdoor industry and the RV industry is going to be in trouble. I knew that they're going to be in trouble because they weren't really going after everybody's dollar. So
a segue here, your message is good. Your message is rock solid. But absolutely. I heard your message, I think a couple of years ago. I'm involved with the Outdoor Writers Association of America, and you did a talk. Was it in Destin or at Orange Beach? In Alabama, were y'all at that conference?
I was at that conference. Yeah, it was. That was a time when I had an opportunity to speak with the state park director.
Yes, and I remember that I've been a camper and an RVer for a while, And I had never noticed.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, most folks don't notice because when you are doing something for so long, listen, the outdoor industry itself is probably 98% white.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just keep it real. All right.
Yeah.
The outdoor lifestyle is probably 95, 96%. You know, I'm give or take a few points. And when you're in those spaces, I mean, you don't necessarily think about anyone else. You just can't think about what you're doing about what you got going on. But when you really drill down into it and understand the reason and why that many folks of color, particularly Black folks, are not going to the outdoors, it is pretty compelling to understand this. And it's somewhat is sad. But for me, I've gotten over the sad part and I've gotten over the opportunity part. For me, it's a legacy. It's my legacy work because I need to make sure that my children, and your children enjoy the outdoor lifestyle with each other around the campfire, which we call the Unity Blaze, right? And this is not just a job for me. This is my life. This is my work.
So you've chosen to maintain a base camp in Brevard.
Well, the reason why it's so important to be here, because normally I would actually, my MO is go into a business, build the business, pack up my family and leave and go actually do that at another business as well, entrepreneurial spirit, okay? But this is a little bit different because, you know, you have Pisgah Forest and you have Brevard as an outdoor mecca of the South in a lot of ways. You know, some of the most incredible mountain biking trails and trails. We have 250 waterfalls in a 2-mile radius. This place is incredible. It is the outdoor space on the planet. Yet, you know, as a Black male, it wasn't until maybe a week ago when I actually saw a Black male actually trail running for the first time ever in Brevard. Right? And I don't know if he was running as more as he was walking, but it was just very, very peculiar to me at that time that I had never seen that before. Right. So being here in Brevard, being here in Pisgah Forest, being here in an area that was so amazing, it allowed us to get a lot of data. And because we were able to grab a lot of data, we don't operate on opinions. See, because let me also just share this with you. Black Folks Camp 2, we're not a nonprofit, okay? We're not a club. We're not a group. We don't take folks in camp. You can't contact us and ask us to take you out and do all those things. We're totally different from what a lot of folks have seen. We're a business. We're a very strategic business. And our business is to first B2B, first to have the conversation with the industry to share with them why a group of folks that spend almost $1.5 trillion in this economy don't spend money really in the outdoor industry, right? And if that doesn't mean anything to America, then we know we have a problem because America is a capitalist-driven environment. Right. Well, we believe that through that, we can also meet the needs of a very strategic thought process as unity in the outdoor community and beyond. Because if we're able to attract folks who want to purchase products or want to go into the outdoors and buy things to use in the outdoors, then those folks will then be in the outdoors. Right. And we do it very strategic.
So Brevard is an integral and constituent part of your brand narrative.
Absolutely.
Even if they don't come here.
Right. Well, they do. And so what we, in the beginning of our company, when we started this company in 2019, what we found is that we started to invite and welcome folks into this particular space in Brevard. We reached out to folks so we can actually take them camping, take them backpacking, take them mountain biking, take them RVing, cabin camping. We did everything. We invited families from the good times folks to the Huxtables, right? That means from the low income folks to the high income folks. And it was easier to bring them to have them meet me here in Brevard for a place where I lived, a place I knew. It was easy for us to share the outdoors with these folks, but we wanted to also break some stereotypes. And the stereotypes is that we weren't a group or a club taking folks in the outdoors so they just can have a good time. Right. We wanted these folks to come to the particular areas and thousands of folks that we brought in so we can get data to understand why they weren't coming to the outdoors, right?
Where are you in that data gathering process?
Oh, we're very strategic. You know, we spent almost $1 million on data.
Right. So where are you? Are you near the end of that data gathering process?
We'll never be at the end of it. We're at the toenail of the elephant of it, right? So we understand the whys. We understand the whys, why folks of color, particularly Black folks hadn't really been in the outdoors. We know that because I'm a Black male, 49 years old, and I know why I didn't go in the outdoors. I knew the reasons why. I knew the reason why my friends didn't go. I knew the reason why my uncles and cousins and people that looked like me didn't go. I just wanted to quantify it and qualify with the other folks.
So what conclusions have you drawn through your data gathering so far?
Well, the number one reason why the majority of Black folks hadn't been in the outdoors is because we have generational fear. Generational fear. My great grandmother told my grandmother, told my mother, told me don't go in the woods. Right?
Yeah.
Those woods were some of the most heinous places in the world for black folk. Right. So you know, people ask me all the time, what are some of those heinous things? You know, you think about black folks and during the time of not only just slavery, but also in the Jim Crow area, dogs chasing them through the woods and doing some heinous things, and people, you know, doing a ton of heinous things to them. And let's just put it out there, white folks, right? And so my great grandmother would tell me that all the time. You don't go in them woods. You don't belong in them woods for white folks. And so we grew up thinking that, and all of our friends grew up thinking that, right? And that's not all black folks, by the way, but that's the majority of us. And the second reason is because we have lack of knowledge. When you haven't been privy to them, you haven't been going
Your
to state
grandparents
parks.
didn't take you.
Right, you haven't gone to state parks, national parks, and you haven't done those things. Like, we've gone fishing. People get this misconstrued. Well, they go fishing, they go hunting. Well, that's for survival.
Yeah.
I'm talking about going into the physical forest and just sitting back and recreational and hugging a tree.
Yeah.
Right. And sticking your feet in the waterfall. Right. I always equate this to the outdoors. You know, you see many black folks in the Summer Olympics. You'll see us in the Summer Olympics all day long, but you rarely see us in the Winter Olympics, because most of the Winter Olympics happen in the outdoors. Right. And then the third reason why many of us hadn't been in the outdoors is because the industry really hadn't done a good job to invite and welcome us, right? And what I mean by invite and welcome us, I mean from a strategic, data-driven space of marketing to a group of folks that would go experience the outdoors, but don't necessarily know how to do so. But the industry, the reason why they haven't been able to do a good job at it is because they haven't understood why we hadn't gone in the first place.
Right.
Right. And you cannot build a business. I don't care who you are. If you don't know the why, you cannot get to the what, when, where, and how. Right?
So for them, for the industry, the black community just wasn't an audience.
Well,
and in their view,
yeah.
The black community had self-identified, and they didn't know the reasons, but they had self-identified as a non-audience.
Well, I think it's a non-audience, but not only that though. I think you know, I always tell folks, let's just keep it real. You know, black folks in America, if you take black folks and you have every other group in America, every other race in America, you put black folks to the right side. We're the only folks in America had laws to keep us out of the outdoors. State and national parks, many of them were segregated to 64, right? And so when you think about that, when you think about that piece alone, you have to really wonder that even my mother, who was born in 52, going to a state park was like out of her, I'm not doing any of that, right? And so the industry not seeing these folks, not thinking, because they don't know the why we haven't gone in the first place, they would assume that we don't want to go, right? Their thought process is that you know, maybe they don't want to be out there, or what we've heard so many times, they don't go in the outdoors because they live in the inner city. Well, we got black folks that live here in this town that have never seen Looking Glass, right? Or maybe they don't go in the outdoors because they don't have any money. Well, that's not true. You know, we spend almost $300 billion a year right now just cosmetic products and things that beauty products, right, in that particular space. So the industry needs to learn why we didn't go, learn the why, so we can get to the what, when, where, and how. And then at that particular point, we believe the peer-to-peer, which we love the most, unity in the outdoor community would take place. So
has Brevard, in your experience, has Brevard been a proponent and a facilitator, not just for you in this business, but in integrating the participation in the outdoors? You know, does it help or hinder, or is it a neutral experience?
Here's what I love about the Brevard. When you first hear the word Brevard, right? I believe Brevard was the first high school that integrated in North Carolina. I believe so. I believe they're the first high school to integrate it. So the potential of the thought process of inviting and welcoming folks of color and different race, of gender, age in the particular outdoors, this probably would be the first place that folks would do it, right? That's what I would think, right? But I've also seen where folks in this particular area who love the outdoors have been very welcoming in all different type spaces. Those waterfalls will do something to you, brother. Those waterfalls will set you in a place where your life will flash before you, and all the things that you thought you wouldn't do, you would do. All the things that you said you would do, you may and wouldn't do. Right. And so I believe Brevard itself has been very welcoming to me and my family, but also the people here, the community here. We've met some amazing folks. Have I met some weirdos and some crazy folks? Of course.
Yeah.
But I've also met some of those in Arkansas and Columbia and all other places too. And by the way, they may think I'm weirder and crazy because I wear the same gear every day, every single day. Right. So I believe Brevard is a small town, small city. Not only has been great for us, great for our company, but it's been great for me. I've had an opportunity to rest and relax. I've had an opportunity to travel the world and come right back here and lay my head. But more than anything, though, I've had an opportunity to love on some folks here, and folks love on me. You know, so Brevard it's a great place, man.
So if you could wave a magic wand and change something about Brevard that would enhance your business, or just enhance your family life, or just make it a little different, or what would that be?
I think one of the things is I think Brevard as a city, what would enhance it is for it to keep on being Brevard, right? A lot of folks, you know, I tell folks you can put lipstick on a pig, it's still gonna be a pig,
right?
I think that folks tend to get out of who they are to become something else, and then they become nothing, right? It's sort of like us as a company, Black Folks Camp 2. Like we don't change anything about us. Our company says Black Folks Camp 2. It don't say Black folks just camp only with Black folks. We're not changing how we operate. We just want to make sure folks are educated what the word "to" means.
Right.
It means also and as well.
Right.
Right. We're a very inclusive company. And so with that being said, Brevard is similar to how we are as a company, right? I always say, folks, you know, we're very delightful. We're very kind. We deal in data. We are strategic. And if you think about Brevard, you know, you think about 250 waterfalls in 2-mile radius, you're not going to get that. You're not going to forget that, right?
Right.
You think about the mountains there. You think about Pisgah Forest. You think about DuPont. You think about the mountain bike. You think about people coming here and bringing their $20,000 bikes and riding up and down Pisgah Forest. But you also think about folks who have nothing at all, and some folks that are living in the woods, and folks that embrace them in the same space, right? And so I'm very partial to not only to Brevard, but I'm very partial to keeping it real. You know, Black Folks Camp 2, I always go back to us. You know, we're not just Black Folks Camp 2. We're the unity folk.
Right.
Because we own White Folks Camp 2. We own Hispanic Folks Camp 2. Asian Folks Camp 2. Church Folks Camp 2. Native Folks Camp 2. Mixed Folks Camp 2. And the proverbial, what everyone always says, all Folks Camp 2. Right. And so because of all of that, it gives us this this foundation,
right,
to have this incredible a melting pot of people within our space, even our staff, and how diverse it is, right? It gives me hope for what Brevard is and what it can be. So
you've mentioned the Unity. Is it a Unity Flame?
Unity Blaze.
Unity Blaze.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you own all these other domains.
We do.
Okay, so I think it was mentioned that you are rebranding or currently trying to do some strategic stuff going forward. Is there a goal or a vision that you would focus, instead of being right out front with Black Folks Camp 2? Because that would be really long if you Black folks, Hispanic folks, all these people.
I wear all the T-shirts.
Yeah. So is there a way or is there a vision that you would be now? I don't even know what the title would be, but
the Unity folks,
the Unity campers, we're all people camp, or whatever it is. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, though. I try to tell folks is that you know, we don't run from anything or any space. We've had a lot of folks, you know, look at our brand and look at our name, Black Folks Camp 2, and they say some of the most egregious things in the world. They said some of the craziest things in the world, and I just chalk it up as America in a lot of spaces.
Right.
I sometimes have a lot of empathy for those folks because they're not very smart.
Right.
However, though, you know, we're not necessarily rebranding anything. We're not going to rebrand anything. What we're doing is what we strategically said we would do. And what we want to do is make sure we get every race, age, gender, and ability around this campfire, which we call the Unity Blaze,
right,
so we can start having conversation. We're going to find that we got more same than differences. The thing about it is Black folks, though, and it's very important that for my great-grandmother,
right,
and her great-grandmother and her folks to understand that we need to make sure that, if nobody else, to make sure that more Black folks, because of the laws that have kept us out of the outdoors.
It's a steeper learning curve. Much steeper learning curve.
They absolutely know that somebody's out there and there's a company out there that has their interests in place. But my Asian friends and my white friends and my native friends.
No, they are
and my church friends.
No, they're welcome at the campfire.
And my Hispanic friends. All those folks need to know too that you all are welcome around the campfire. Period.
Yeah. So and that's that is the heart of what I was asking. So it's a wonderful answer. So Brevard seems like to me the perfect campfire for that conversation, the perfect setting to promote that, because it seems to me, and I'm paraphrasing what you have said,
right,
that everybody and the economy of this town is based on get out there.
Absolutely.
Here's not it. It's there.
Well,
so get out there and enjoy that, and that's the heart of this town.
Absolutely. I think I tell folks all the time, we do a lot of kumbaya. We should start doing a little more ROI, right? And ROI to most folks mean return on investment. To us, and we own this word, it's return on inclusion, right? There's a huge return on inclusion. I don't know who said that diversity was bad. I don't know who started that and said diversity was bad. But let me tell you something. I played on football teams, basketball teams, baseball teams. I've been on business teams. I've started businesses. I've been a part of big business, small business. And without diversity, though, in a lot of places, you lose. With diversity, you win. Diversity is strength. And so because of that, the outdoor industry plays a huge part of Brevard's, actually their lifeline as an area. And so the area should want to see more diversity in this particular space, mainly because America itself is a melting pot.
Right.
There's a lot of diversity in the space. And if the data says the white folks are not camping and going in the outdoors as much as they used to. The boomers went out in the outdoors and had an amazing time, but their grandchildren are not going in the outdoors and enjoying it. So it behooves not only Brevard, but every other city and every other space, every other entity that loves the outdoors to make sure that they are putting their arms around the fact that we have to invite and welcome more folks of different race, age, genders, and abilities to enjoy the outdoor lifestyle.
Well, I got to tell you, if you got to be stuck in traffic with somebody, I think Earl's the right guy to be stuck in traffic, especially if it's Brevard traffic, because he's a hell of an entertaining guy.
Right on.
And I like the way it's almost proselytizing, and it's wonderful. It's certainly evangelical for the outdoors, which is part and parcel of what this town's about. So thank you for joining us today. You make a great case. I wish the entity all the luck, and I'm one of those that says the more people you get in the outdoors, the better.
Well, listen,
so you're doing a great job of that.
Well, listen, we're an amazing company. Our company has been around for 6 years. We're an award-winning company. We won an award every year since we've been here, and the awards don't matter to me as much as the fact that why we won the awards and how we won the awards and how we educate the industry and how we educate the community and things of that nature. I walk around and wear this gear every day because I want folks to ask me about it. Yeah. And then when they do, they're going to get about a 20 to 45 minute dissertation about our company. And then I'm going to send them to our website hoping they buy some of our gear. So
yeah, I think that's, I pick up pretty quickly that stopping you is and that's a wonderful trait. So keep that up for the city of Brevard and everybody else. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
You're a good man.
Right on. We're going to change the world.
I hope so. I'm on your team.
Right
so
on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for joining us. We'll be back with another episode soon. Always stay stuck in traffic.
Oh, I'm stuck here in this traffic jam, dreaming of the green pastures I once ran. The road ahead's a snail's slow dance. This highway's robbed me of my chance.